Today, I'm going to be ranking the FNAF games from worst to best. But before we start that, I want to say these are my opinions. Please do not get mad at me over my opinions. These are based on my experiences with the game and how I like them. Your opinions may differ, and that is okay. It is not okay to hate on someone else because of their opinion. We all like and dislike different things. It'll be okay. But with that being said, let's start ranking these games. Make sure you also like and subscribe because, that's a pretty cool thing to do. I also want to say that for certain games I do not have footage for because I didn't like them, or I can't necessarily get footage because one of the games is actually not on PlayStation, so I can't necessarily record and play it. But that's not to say I haven't played it. And why would I spend money on a game that I didn't really like? Anyways, we should start this now. Coming in at number 8 as the worst, in my opinion, the worst Five Nights at Freddy's game is Sister Location. Now, the game wasn't necessarily like... It's not that it's not scary, okay? I don't think the animatronics this time around looked that scary. And the fact that the whole night system was switched up where it's not like you're surviving until 12 to 6, I didn't really like that. It's not that I don't like change, or that I didn't like accept the new idea, it's just that I felt like it was poorly implemented and poorly executed in the game. Coming in at number 7 is Security Breach. I had a whole video I wanted to do on this, but I decided not to because I really just didn't want to play the game. And that's because I don't think the animatronics are scary. And I do not like the story. For me, the story ended with 6 or 4, depending on how you look at it. It ends with 6 or 4. I did like the kind of like free roam, like being able to walk around type thing. But I didn't like the animatronics. They were not scary. The characters were also kind of mid, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't mess with Gregory. Or whatever the security guard's name is, Vanessa or whatever. I don't know. I don't mess with that game. Coming in at number 6, we have FNAF 3. Now, FNAF 3 is the most boring FNAF game, in my opinion. I enjoyed the fact that we had to use the cameras more, but at the same time, that kind of feels like all you're doing is just sitting on the cameras and fixing stuff, and I'm not a big fan of that. Although, I am a big fan of Springtrap. Springtrap's design is absolutely stellar. Like, he is one of the best animatronic designs, I think, there is throughout the whole series. And the jump scare, we all know about the jump scare. It's pretty whack, I'm not even gonna lie. But yes, FNAF 3 is place 6. Coming in at number 5, we have Pizzeria Simulator. Now, Pizzeria Sim, I actually liked it for the most part. I thought that the like tycoon mode mechanic was really cool, and to be honest, I would enjoy to have a standalone game like that. Like where it's you build your own restaurant and you can just like, you know what I mean? Like I'd mess with a game like that. I didn't like the night system though. Like sitting in that room and just doing tasks and looking left and right and just shining your flashlight down there. It felt boring and kind of up to chance. And the task part was just really like tedious and time consuming. I can also appreciate I can also appreciate the what it did for the story and kind of wrapped it up, you know what I mean, like in the closure section of the story with Henry's monologue, which is one of the greatest monologues in gaming of all time. So yes, Pizzeria Sim is going to be ranked number 5. Coming in at number 4 is going to be UCN, or Ultimate Custom Night. I really like this game. It's a good challenge game. It's not a standard Five Nights at Freddy's game. That's why it's kind of like placed here. The jump scares were not the best, but it's a good challenge game to just like, whenever you're bored, just kind of sit down and, you know, run it a few times and always chase that higher score, which I really enjoyed. And the what it did for the story and the characters and the voice acting were top notch, top Bluebee and a half, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, number 4 is UCN. Now we're getting into the top 3, and my top 3 spot is going to FNAF 2. Now, I love FNAF 2, personally. Like, I got a soft spot in my heart for it. But there was one issue, and that 2 issues actually. One was the RNG. This game is pretty luck based, especially with Toy Bounty. I think we all know how that works. And the idea of the mystery box was cool, but it's the only camera that you can really sit on in the later nights, so it kind of makes all the other cameras obsolete. Which I didn't like, because I like looking around the cameras is cool sometimes. You just see like little things that you wouldn't have noticed. But the characters, amazing. Jump scares were also fire, straight up. And the audio is one of the best in the series. So, number 3 spot goes to FNAF 2. In the number 2 spot, we have FNAF 1, the OG. You know, we wouldn't have any of this other stuff without FNAF 1. Get introduced to Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie Bunny, Chica Bitch, and Foxy, and Golden Freddy. Like, it's just a killer revolutionary game, and the ambience was great. I really appreciate that. I'm a nerd for good sound design and good spooky noises. One thing I didn't like is, once again, it's kind of the same issue with FNAF 2, is when you get to the higher nights or the later nights, you're kind of just sitting on one cam, whether it be Foxy or Freddy's camera. That's the one thing I didn't really like. They didn't really implement the camera use very well, but that's okay, because it's still one of the best FNAF games in the series. And now, for the number 1 spot for the best Five Nights at Freddy's game, it's gotta be FNAF 4. I think, whether you like it or not, it is the scariest game in the series, hands down. The mechanic of having to listen for breathing is amazing. Like, okay, getting scared is not fun. Like, I get that, like, you feel like getting scared won't be fun, but it works so well in FNAF 4 that you enjoy it. Like, even for me, like, I was playing FNAF 4, like, my first night, and I didn't even want to play the game because I was so scared to play it. Like, it was the first night. I didn't even want to get past the first night because I was so scared of playing it. But then I was playing it, I was having a good time. Get your heart beating. You're breathing heavy. You're scared. And I think that's all that really matters when you're playing a FNAF game. And there was some good story beats too. Like, 1 through 4, this capped off the story for the rest of the game series. And that was originally supposed to be it. There wasn't supposed to be anything else. And I feel like this would have been a good spot to end the series. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you could have had 1 through 4, and it could have ended right here with this game. That's how good I think this game was. Alright, with all that being said, that was my FNAF ranking tier list, or from worst to best. I'm sure 99.9% of you are gonna have different opinions, but that's okay. If you want to share, let me know. And if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe and like, you know, always appreciated. So, thank you for watching this 9-minute and 25-second video.